She's mad because I took the fun away from her. Good morning. Okay, so it's been a while since I vlogged or filmed or whatever. A lot's been happening, but it wasn't anything that I really felt like filming. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the quick update / recap on that. On the 15th, we went to my half-brother's funeral that ended up not being a funeral. I guess I'll go more into that in a little bit. And then the day after, on the 16th, was my birthday. As pretty much everyone knows, I'm sure, Valentine's Day is the 14th of February, and that day we had my sister, her son Chase, Evelyn and I, and Charlie as well. We're all supposed to rent a car. We had reserved it under her name, but we ended up not being able to get that. We had several issues. The first one being that when she went to use her card or whatever to do it, I guess when you use a debit card, at least at this particular place, you have to have good credit, and she has no credit. It's not that she has bad credit, but she has like no credit. So even though she had the money and everything, they wouldn't let her do it. Like, we were going to put her on it and me on it and, you know, do the thing, and we thought it was going to be easy peasy, but no, they wouldn't even let her do it. So then when I tried to do it, because my birthday was the 16th, this year just happens to be the year where my license expires, so they wouldn't let me do it either. So we ended up just taking my car, which was very tight because it's a 5-seater and there was 5 of us, and 2 of us were in car seats. So yeah, then we spent the night of the 14th in Lemoore, where I have a family, so we stayed with some family there, but we didn't stay with family there, we saw family there, and then we stayed in a hotel in Hanford. This morning we left about 7:30 because the function was at 10. With the babies and all of us, we still managed to be about like 30 minutes late. We got there at like 10:30, but that's okay because they hadn't even really started yet, and they had changed the venue, so it wasn't at the church anymore. Now it was at a house. And there wasn't a service or anything. It was basically just like a party. Like, all his friends came, family came, but only on his mom's side. I don't want to get into it, but nobody on my dad's side showed up. So that was super cool of them. Not really. Anyways, we ended up leaving. I got a necklace, and so did Kimberly. And my brother also has 2 other sisters on his mom's side that aren't related to me at all. I guess they're getting some as well. But basically it has like his ashes in it. So I have him. Ooh, I'm getting choked up. So yeah, we drove home that night in my car of the 15th because the 16th was my birthday. I dropped Kimberly and Chase off here at my grandparents' house where I live and where they were staying. Then Evelyn and I spent the night at Charlie's, which was totally cool, no issue. We woke up the next day, hung out a little bit, and then we went and got sushi, but Evelyn just wasn't quite herself. Things I wanted to do for my birthday was get sushi, vegetarian sushi. I had a cucumber roll. No, I had veggie rolls. I had 2 veggie rolls, which had like asparagus, I almost said cucumber, but maybe it did. Yeah, cucumber, carrot, all that stuff. That's not important. We ended up going thrift store shopping because I wanted to go thrift store shopping to buy Evelyn stuff for her birthday, because her birthday is 10 days after mine. Which is partially why I want to get all of this update stuff out of the way and vlog today, so that I don't have to update any of this, and the next one can be like her birthday stuff. But yeah, I ended up not getting her anything. I saw something I wanted to buy her at one store, but I was going to come back and get it because it was the first store we went to, and it would have been the last one on the way back to my car when we came back. But she had, long story short, she got sick. She got sick for the first time. She puked all over me inside of the thrift store. I kind of wish I was filming it. Looking back on it, it was kind of funny, but at the moment it was kind of concerning because we were at the sushi place and she fell asleep there, and then I was like carrying her around while she was asleep to some thrift stores, and then she woke up and she just felt really hot when she woke up, and then she puked on me twice. We dropped Charlie off at home real quick, then came home. Oh, girl. She rested. We kept her away from Chase because, again, Kimberly and Chase were still here. They ended up leaving on Monday night, which I will also get into in just a moment. Yeah, she rested. It was my birthday, so Charlie ended up coming over and I took a quick bath, even though it wasn't recommended to me by my grandparents because we had a water main break, and I guess the water wasn't quite as clear, but I really needed a bath because that's what I like to do to relax. So yeah, fast forward, she ended up going to sleep early. She was kind of grouchy and sick the rest of the day, but she didn't puke anymore. And the next day she was totally fine. And her fever, I did check her temperature and it was never above 100 degrees. And at her age, it's like you don't have to take them in unless it's like 102 and it's been that way for a couple of days or whatever, you know? I don't know. It wasn't anything to where she needed to go in. I'm not even 100% convinced that it wasn't teething related, since she's the only one who got it. And she has like her flu shot and stuff, but Charlie and I don't. and everybody else in the family does. I don't know. Long story short, she's the only one who got it, even though we were all in close quarters. So I'm not convinced it wasn't like a teething related thing or like a traveling related thing, just because she might have been like over it. Alright, so because of my license thing expiring on the 16th, which is where we're at now, the next day we didn't do anything. I wasn't going to drive. I didn't go anywhere. We just hung out here. And then that would have been Sunday. And then Monday, Kimberly was supposed to go back. Instead of driving her all the way to LA because of my license issue, she ended up driving herself with my car to our neighboring town where there is a train station. And then she took the train there to LA and then from LA to her home. What else? She did have some issues on the train because the only train that they have from LA to her home, or even backwards, like the other direction, they're both like she had to come in the middle of the night. She showed up early in the morning. So going back, it was like from 6 to 5:30 in the morning. And she reserved it for herself and for an infant, which it's kind of like on the... Which is kind of like on the airplane where if you get an infant seat, it's kind of like their lap baby, and that's why they're free. And she didn't kind of realize that. Mama. Especially because like on the way here, she didn't have any issue with them just letting her use another seat for her baby. Because she likes to, because it's in the night and he needs to sleep, obviously. He sleeps at night. So she put him in the car seat or whatever in the seat so he could sleep. And this was an issue this time because they weren't going to let her use another seat even though the seat next to her was empty. This actually ended up being a big deal. Like yeah, it ended up being a big deal. We're all kind of a little mad. Like I know I'm a little mad about it. Just because ultimately she ended up having to buy a child seat. Her boyfriend, the father of her child, her baby daddy, if you will, was on hold for like an hour with the Amtrak people so that he could buy her a child seat so that she wasn't in this situation. Because they didn't make it clear enough, I guess. I mean, it makes sense. That's not, like, technically their fault. But this next part definitely is. So, hi, baby. You gonna let me finish my story? Yeah? Hi. So, yeah, they ended up buying the child seat for whatever price. But the representative pulled up her booking number and everything. So they knew exactly, like, her number. Just so they should be able to just add it on, right? False. She ended up, the rep or whatever, after being on the phone for an hour, ended up somehow making the ticket for the next day for him. So he would have been traveling alone the next day on the One Direction, even though he was already on the train with his mother. So they bought a ticket, and then the people on the train weren't honoring it. Like, the last I heard, they refused to honor it, and her boyfriend was back on the phone with them. I still don't even know if they ever honored it. If he ever ended up getting a seat. I hope so. I think so. Otherwise, Kimberly just held him the whole time so he could sleep, which wouldn't have been the best sleep for him because unlike Evelyn and I, who she always has to be held, he doesn't. So yeah, that's basically that. Oh, one more thing, one more kind of update thing. It is now Wednesday, so yesterday I went to the DMV to obviously fix my license situation. I was gonna get a real license. I brought $80, which the real license itself is $35. And then, or at least in this state, I don't know, elsewhere. Brought everything I needed. Like, I was kosher, I was good, I had a baby, she was acting good, everything was good, it was all cool. Until, of course, I get to the little teller lady, and this isn't her fault by any means, because, I mean, she's just a worker bee. She has, like, actually no say at all, probably. But yeah, apparently I have some reissue fees that I need to pay that total $70, and then I would also have to pay the $35. So I ended up leaving there without fixing this situation. I was actually $25 short to be able to do so. So now I have to go back and do that all again. I don't have the cash right now because, you know, Charlie's that money bags. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said it like that. It's just kind of frustrating. But, yeah, it just hasn't been, things have just not been going our way this last week. But I've been being, ow! She just hit me in the foot with that. But I've been being positive. Oh, now you're cuddling me? You feel bad? You just want cuddles? Oh, and she's teething like crazy. She got her third bottom tooth coming. Or not coming, it's actually cut, it's popped through. Then if I look deep, she's got like her first molars in the top coming. And all the other teeth that are this one. And this tooth that I'm missing is technically the first molar that would come, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. That's what's up. I don't have any... Oh, geez. So, yeah, that's what's up. I don't really have any plans for today. I would go to the DMV if I had the money, but I don't have the money and I don't know what Charlie's doing. I need to wash my hair again because I was letting it get greasy so that I could bleach it, but now it's too greasy, I think. As if you didn't know, I like to let my hair get a little greasy before I bleach it because I'd rather, you know, be safe than sorry and have to do it a couple times and have all my hair fall out, because I have literally had the situation where I bleached it and then I touched my hair and it was literally just falling apart in my hands, and that is awfully scary. And I'm out of breath. Okay, that's literally all the update I have, other than like feeling updates, I guess. And I guess I go back to when I said that I'm watching Trisha right now, so this kind of reminded me of it. Back when I said her and Jason Nash were goals, and then she had that emotional breakdown again since then and all that drama. So I'm kind of like shooketh by that, I guess, because I thought they were doing so good. I thought she was doing so good. Oh, I forgot. Another thing I found out is McDonald's fries are not even vegetarian, at least not in the USA, maybe in other countries. So I did eat some of those and I'm super sad about that and mad at McDonald's. Even though it's my fault for not knowing, I guess, even though you would assume that a french fry, a potato product would be safe, but I guess they somehow they do fry them in vegetable oil, but they put like beef fat in the actual fry itself, or on the actual fry itself, which gives it that signature flavor. This lighting though. Let's go food. Look at all these cados. I'm bored. I miss Kimberly. I'm just kidding. I'd still be bored right now because they don't wake up at this time. Evelyn wakes up early, but Chase doesn't wake up until like 8 or 9 o'clock. Lucky Kim. Ooh, another thing, these 3 types of Girl Scout cookies, Thin Mints, Thanks a Lots, and these peanut butter ones, those are all vegan. Oh, and I'm sideways. One thing I hate about filming with an iPhone is you can very easily accidentally not have it widescreen, which reminds me to tell you that I'm using my phone now again because my camera card thing, memory card, is broken, so it won't work. I need to get a new one. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that's all of the updates. Yeah.